What's up, you guys, and welcome to a whole new episode of Tony Approved.
Okay. I am back with another story time for you guys. I've had another experience that I feel like I want to share with everyone out there. One of my goals for this year, shout out to the 2024 goals. Hopefully, everyone is still sticking to the goals that they had set for themselves way back in January, was to join a kickball league. Now, I am a full-grown adult, and I know most people are like, why are you out there playing kickball? One of my coworkers, who's turned out to be a really good friend of mine, actually invited me to play on his kickball team, which is actually in this very huge community league. It's actually nationwide. It's a part of the Stonewall, and it's actually an LGBTQ league. So that was actually what first really kind of snatched my attention, because I've never really been too much into sports. I was really good at swimming. I played football but only for about a week, and I played basketball for maybe 3 days, and it was just downhill from there. Now, to my credit, back in the day, I used to be fat, so it was really hard for me to play all them sports, but it just wasn't really it for me. Now, as I've gotten older, I've come to realize that when it came to the non-sports thing, my dad kind of realized that I was more into music, and he just kind of left me alone with it. I personally feel like had he figured out a way to introduce it to me in a way that I would enjoy it and really worked on it on my level, I might have actually could have gotten into it, but he didn't. And I take a little bit more interest into it now. So I was like, hey, I think maybe this would be a good idea for me to go ahead and join this kickball league. And it's just, they only do 2 seasons a year. They do it during the fall and during the spring. So I was like, why not? Why not join? I think one of my biggest reasons for joining originally was to be more a part of the community. I'll go out to gay events, but I don't really, that's not a every like weekend thing for me, or like a constant go out thing. It's kind of more like a spirit of the moment type thing. And I try to work on that, because I feel like if you've seen my recent video where I was talking about my struggles with Pride Month and having pride within myself, I think that was a part of me trying to find my footing in being proud of who I am just as a gay man, just being more around my people, and not just the people who are like myself, who are gay and don't hide it, but don't really necessarily interact a lot in the community. And plus, I felt like, it'll be a really great way to, work out, get to know people, go from there. But, were there challenges? For starters, after I joined the league, I realized I knew absolutely nothing about kickball. And it sounds so corny to be like, how the heck you ain't even think about it, research the game before you went in it. But we played kickball growing up, so I figured it was just a normal, everybody goes out to the field. It's a 3 bases, and you kick, you try to get to the bases before everybody else. But no, there are actually positions and rules and regulations to kickball. And I remember, it's so funny, they sent us out a test of a series of questions that we had to answer to see if we passed or failed of our knowledge. I failed the test, and I guess you were supposed to keep taking it until you passed it, but I took the test one time and was learning as I went, which was not the best thing for me to do, because every time I went out there to the field, I would blank out and be like, oh my God, what are the rules? What are the rules? And on top of that, while I'm struggling to learn the rules, did I mention this was the LGBTQ community? So, of course, they had some fine behind dudes out there. And it was the hardest thing to stay focused, because it was one dude, he was just my type. He was so fine, y'all. Y'all have no idea. I even got his number, y'all, but he ended up playing me to the left. Which I wasn't too devastated about, because it was a mixed race of people playing in the league, but the primarily groups of people that were playing in the league were white, and I think he more leans towards white guys, so definitely wasn't gonna work over here. But I wish it had, and I ain't gonna lie, like if he wakes up and realizes how beautiful the melanin is, I'll be like, yo, what's up? I end up having to play the catcher position because I was always scared of getting hit with the ball. Like, for some reason, I couldn't court. I could move around to get the ball if I knew the ball was coming at me. When the ball just flying in the air, and I'm like, I got it. And then when I realized, oh my God, it's coming at you, what if it hits you right in your face? Everybody's like, oh, if the ball hits you, just gonna sting one time, and I just gotta keep running. No, I need you to understand that when that ball hits me, I'm going to click into a part of my brain that is the fight or flight. And I'm going to forget that we're playing this game, and I'm going to want to know who hit me with that ball, So it just be, never wanted to get hit in the face. Now, it wasn't all hardships. There were some things that were beautiful about it. It made me realize that I need to definitely work out a little bit more, because I was definitely out of shape, and I definitely want to continue with that, because I definitely have a sit-down job. So I have to make sure that I move around a little bit more. I also realized that when you play sports, it teaches you resilience and it teaches you never to quit. Because it's a couple of times. I remember one time we did this, what they call a remix tournament, to basically where you play like one day full of games to see who wins. I think we played like 3 games back to back. This was actually before I joined for the spring season. We did a remix just to kind of see how I got my foot in the butt. And I had to pray myself through that, y'all, because I was having shin splints. That's when the front of your legs be burning. And oof. I literally was out there like, oh my God, y'all, my legs is burning. I feel like I want to go home, but I don't want to quit. I can't quit. I can't go home. If Beyonce could dance in heels and perform, I could get out here and play this game with leg splints. And I didn't give up. And I was really proud of myself. And it once again taught me like, hey, Antonio, you got a strong power on the inside of you to keep moving forward. You just have to remember that it's there. And a couple of times in my life, it worked out that I was actually doing kickball, because I remember one particular time I showed up to the game like right before it started, and I got nervous because I was like, damn, I didn't get to do a warm up. And I almost wanted to just go home, but I told myself, no, just go. I said a little prayer. And I know this sounds eccentric to all the stuff I've been going through, but I had a lot of anxiety about playing this kickball. Even though this was a goal that I wanted to meet for myself, that does not mean that once I actually signed up to do it, it was just like, oh, yay. Because no, it was a lot. It was a lot on the inside. I was nervous. It was hard for me to even stay committed, because it was like 7 weeks straight. So it's just like, and then it rained 2 Sundays in a row, so it threw me off. So we only played 1 game a week. That was, I don't even know if I said the schedule, but yeah, the schedule was 1 game a week on Sundays for 7 weeks straight. And I think 2 weekends it rained like back to back, so we didn't get to play. So it kind of threw me off. And then we had practice once a week, and some teams actually had practice multiple times a week. That's how I realized that I probably was on the best team for myself for this season. Even though my team came in last, like dead last, like once we got to the end of the tournament, we didn't even have enough people to play. That kind of last. But at the end of the day, this was my goal for the year, to join this team, and I actually did it. I didn't end up hanging out and making as many friends as I thought I would. I still kind of had moments of just awkwardness. Like, it just, sometimes when you be in the gay community, people can be not, how do I say this? They were extremely nice. Everyone was extremely nice when it came to playing the game. It really was. It was not that harsh meanness that, you hear when you normally typically play sports. I guess it's supposed to be a motivation, but it don't motivate for me, because that makes me not want to do it. The fact they were genuinely nice and constantly supporting made me want to show up to practice or the games every single time. So I was really thankful for that. But just genuinely overall, a lot of them were really athletic, and they'd be sitting out there talking about sports and the game. And I'll be sitting there looking like, I'm really more here just to be friends. I don't really strongly care about the game, but I guess it's cool. And then, they know each other because they go out and hang out constantly all of the time, on the weekends and stuff, in the gay community. And I don't always do that, partially because I have my own schedule and things I be trying to do and trying to stick to. And then, like, my family will make it better, because half the time they be asking me to do random things. It just be a mess sometimes. So I just end up still having some moments of awkwardness, but I am willing to still work on that, and really continue to step out there, because I want to be comfortable around my people. And the only way I'm going to be comfortable around them is to keep getting out there. So, yes, will I be joining Kickball again? I said I would, but we'll see. The league has 2 different levels. There's Sweet, which is like people just coming in, just playing for fun, and then Spicy, which is people who play for competitive. My friend actually plays on the Spicy League, and my goal was really to play Sweet 2 seasons and then move up to Spicy. But we'll definitely have to see. If you enjoyed this video, please drop down in the comment section. If you played any sports in your adult life, or anything that you wish you could still play, drop down in the comment section. Let's have a conversation about it. But most I did before this, like I said, was swimming, because that week and 3 days of football and kickball, football and basketball don't count. All right, you guys, until next time, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be back soon with some more content. See you guys next time, and God bless.